Every once in a while, I'm asked the question, what do I do to stop losing weight once I've reached my goal weight? Or even how do I gain some weight without going back to the old way of eating that caused me to have high cholesterol or high blood pressure? I'll answer this question weaving in a little bit of my own story because it applies directly to how it went down for me. Okay, let's do it. Hey everybody, this is Dylan. When I switched in 2016 from a junk food vegan diet to an actual healthy whole plant food diet without processed junk and oil and all that stuff, I was 190 pounds and I am 6 feet 2 inches tall. And so I was not quite officially overweight, but I was definitely at the very high end of my normal BMI. But I was getting high cholesterol, high blood pressure. I was not feeling as well. I was drinking a lot and eating a lot of vegan junk food. And I got all the way down to a little over 150 pounds when I switched my diet. And it happened very quickly. You think that the only way you lose weight quickly is if you have a lot of weight to lose. I didn't have all that much weight to lose. I lost about 30 pounds. It definitely has to do with body type. My body type happens to be one that is very lean, so it was really easy for me to lose weight. In my first month of eating whole plant foods with no added oil or processed junk, I lost 15 pounds, which is a lot for me. And then after that, it just kept dropping. And it only took a matter of a couple of months, probably 2-3 months, for me to get down to 155. And if you go back to my earliest videos, you can see that I was much skinnier back then. I was completely healthy. I felt the best that I've ever felt, just as I do now. But I didn't have as much muscle mass then because I was not working out at all. One of the things that I wanted to show with my weight loss and with my changing the way that I eat is that you can lose weight without doing any exercise at all, other than my normal, I was walking the dog like 30 minutes a day at the time. I didn't do any weightlifting, any resistance training of any kind, and I had virtually no muscle. So I was pretty skinny. And I didn't know where my weight was going to level off. I didn't know that I was going to be 155 pounds. And when I was getting down below 160, I was starting to wonder, like, am I going to level off here? Like, what is the number going to be? I mean, I got to stop losing weight. I'm not starving myself. I'm eating very well. It must be that I'm going to reach a point where I level off. And sure enough, I did. And that was like right around 155. And I stayed 155 for quite a while. So I didn't add resistance training again until about November of 2017. So a little bit over a year ago is when I started working out again. And I put on muscle pretty fast and I put on weight pretty fast. First of all, this goes back to my calorie density video. If you haven't seen that video yet, please do watch it. I'll link it above. I'm pretty happy with that video. I think that it's a really good explanation of how to lose weight by eating the right food without feeling like you're on some sort of a temporary diet, and that you're on like a long-term, lifelong way of eating that's going to allow you also, just like it did for me, to get to your normal level off goal weight. And I understand that this is going to be a different experience for people that have a different body type than me. It's going to be more challenging for someone with a bigger body type than I have, that is going to plateau more often than I am, that are going to have to get even more strict with their diet. If you've seen my other videos, you know that I eat a hell of a lot of food. Mostly it's all whole starches. Obviously I do eat my leafy greens and my lower calorie density food, and I also eat, well, at the time when I was first losing the weight, I didn't eat all that many nuts, which we know are much higher calorie density. Again, watch that calorie density video. Let me just summarize it really briefly. If you've got a pound of food, of all these different kinds of foods, there's going to be a different amount of calories in the different types of foods. For example, all of your non-starchy veggies, everything that you would put into a salad is about 100 calories in 1 pound of food that you can hold in your hands and eat. And then as you move up the ladder, you'll have fruit, which is closer to 300 calories a pound, maybe 400 calories a pound, for the same 1 pound of bulk of food. And then as you go up, you're going to get to your unprocessed complex carbohydrates, which would be like potatoes, whole grains, and then your legumes, which all vary between 400 and 600 calories per pound. That green arrow that's vertical pointing down is when you eat all of these foods together, most people would average out to be around 550 calories per pound for their averaged out daily diet. This is what a normal healthy diet is going to consist of. And now let's jump, you see all the bad stuff there in the middle, the animal products, the processed refined carbohydrates, your junk food, vegan stuff like potato chips and things that I was addicted to. And then you get to nuts and seeds, which are 2,800 calories a pound, and they're perfectly healthy, but they do have obviously higher calorie density. And when I was first losing all my weight, I was not eating very many nuts and seeds. And now I would say that I do eat not a significant amount of nuts and seeds, but definitely way more than I was before. And I'm sure I can attribute my weight gain that I was seeking to adding some more of those overt fats like nuts and seeds and other whole food fats like avocado, very lightly or not processed at all, soy products, coconut I almost never eat. Olives I sometimes eat, but I try to avoid them because they're really salty. So that gives you a sense of the calorie density that I think is going to lead most people to losing weight if they're above their goal weight, and that'll allow you to get to your desired goal weight as quickly as possible. And this is the way that we should eat indefinitely, because it also leads to longevity, to avoiding most, if not all, for most people, medical interventions such as prescription meds to control your cholesterol and blood pressure. If you eat this way, you'll just be healthy, except for some very rare situations that may arise for some people, but it's quite uncommon, and most of us will remain healthy for the rest of our lives if we're eating the right food and we're doing these other things like getting out for a 30-minute walk a day at minimum, getting sunlight, fresh air, good sleep, and all these things. So when I applied this to my own life, indeed, I did drop weight very quickly. 10 years ago, I did a lot of resistance training. I don't even want to use the phrase bodybuilding because I wasn't nearly that cool. But I was getting pretty built and I was pretty lean and I liked my body then. Unfortunately, at the time, I was not vegan. I was drinking like 200 grams of protein via whey protein powder and all this garbage that was probably just so toxic for my body. But I never got to the point where I had negative symptoms from it, fortunately, because it was only for a short time. I was doing it all the wrong way, except that my weight training and all of my exercising was really good, and I was doing that right. But all the supplements and crap that I was taking was BS. When I got down to 155, and I proved to myself, and then I communicated that on my channel, that I could get down and lose all this weight without any exercise. And essentially, I wanted to debunk this idea that you've got to work out really, really hard in order to lose weight. We know that is totally bogus. It's all about the food. But if you want to gain weight, you are going to have to do some working out, and you are going to have to do some shifting some of the food you eat to a higher calorie density. So if you're not a person that's going to do a bunch of resistance training to try to increase your muscle mass, then you're going to have to eat more overt fats. So you would never go back to eating oil and processed garbage food, but you would integrate more soy, nuts and seeds, avocado, and you will probably gain some weight back just by shifting your average calorie density to the right. So it's pretty simple. If your goal is just to either stop losing weight because you're at your goal weight, all you do is eat more calories, a little bit more fat. And if you don't want to do it that way, then you can do what I've done, which is that, yes, I've shifted my calorie density a little bit heavier via overt fats like I've been explaining, but also I worked out really hard and I eat a lot of starches. I try to do a lot of food prep and have tons of food ready, like all my cooking videos that you see me make in these monster batches, and then put it in the fridge so that I've always got it ready so that anytime I have an appetite or whatever, I'm quenching it with delicious whole carbs, and that is the way that I've been gaining a lot of muscle. So now I'm back up to almost 175 pounds, which means I've gained probably 20 pounds since my lowest weight. I'm not saying that it's 100% muscle. I'm sure I have more fat too because I've been eating more nuts and seeds, but a lot of it is muscle. If you go back to my early videos, you can see my body type right now does not look the same as it did back in the middle of, say, 2017, my early videos. This is the ideal way of eating. all you do to control your weight is shift your calorie density over. So the same calorie density principles apply to all of us, regardless of our body type. If you want to get leaner and you're having trouble, then you eat leaner, you eat lower calorie density food. If you want to gain the weight, then you just eat a little bit further to the right while still avoiding all of the processed and refined carbohydrates, junk food, vegan or not, animal products, dairy, oil, all that stuff should be gone forever. This is not a temporary diet. This is a health promoting diet and lifestyle that we're now on, and it's simple, whole foods, spiced up with delicious herbs and spices and flavors, and it's the perfect way of eating. I'll never go back because I feel by far, not just a little bit measurably better, but like obviously my life is completely different at all moments of all days. If you like this video, please do hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join us in the Well Your World Facebook group where we're in the middle of our 30-day healthy eating and lifestyle challenge. We'd love for you to join us. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.